Krishna. Welcome to our Krishna's book club. In this book club, me and my mom are going to give a brief introduction of what we are reading. So first, my mother will give a short introduction.
Hare Krishna. Here we are going to discuss whatever we have read. So I'm reading three books uh, currently, and whenever it's possible, I read them. Generally, when I'm downstairs, I read Bhagavad Gita, and I have reached the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Something I would like to discuss about the points which really struck me were that in this third verse, I think yes, in the third verse of the second chapter, contents of the Gita summarized, Krishna begins the verse saying Klaibhyam. So Klaibhyam means impotence. So Krishna is chastising Arjuna without any hesitation. That is something very remarkable. He is not saying that you should be this, that, and he's not very soft. He's not beginning in a very soft manner. So when we see that our Guru Maharaj, or when we see that even Srila Prabhupada was strong with his message many times, it is a message for every parent also that uh, if we are strong with our words, and if our words are piercing the heart, then it is not wrong, because Krishna also prefers that over flowery words. And for Arjuna, calling something called impotent, something like impotent is very painful, because he was a Kshatriya and a warrior. But Krishna wanted to highlight the severity of his propensity to give up the war or to give up his duty. So, in the same way, if we are also anytime facing a mentality or in a mood of giving up our duty because it seems to be painful or it seems to be inconvenient, then we should remember these words of Krishna always. Secondly, I'm reading Srimad Bhagavatam. This is first canto, part 2. And here I am on prayers of Queen Kunti. So, yeah, here I remember recently I came across the portion where Srila Prabhupada is highlighting the importance of holy name, and there is that story where a person saw a jewel in the heap of garbage, and Sanatan Goswami, I think yes, Sanatan Goswami, yeah, Sanatan Goswami then gave him the holy name, which shows that holy name is valuable than anything else in the world, and we mostly take it to be take it for granted, and we forget its value. So that is what I'm reading in Srimad Bhagavatam currently. That is what I remember rather, and this is a book by Devaki Mataji, Spiritual Culture. This book it highlights the importance of culture and the fact that culture affects us. Even though we are devotees, it doesn't mean that culture will not affect us, because it's not that we transcend the three modes of material nature immediately.
We are devotees, so we should have our spiritual culture.
Correct,
Sacred.
correct. And she has compared material culture in the three modes and the spiritual culture. So, generally, the suggestion is that we have to at least come to the mode of goodness. So, she has given a brief discussion on every topic of fashion, music. So, fashion in three modes, music in three modes, and everything in the spiritual culture. So, that is very nice. And a very nice analogy she gives is that There are the culture and the spiritual practice, devotional life and culture. These are like two tracks which will simultaneously take us back to Godhead. They don't act individually, or even if only one track is existing, it will not be effective. So culture and devotional life, they go hand in hand. So that is about this book. I've just reached the chapter. Yeah, I've reached second chapter of this book, and I hope to continue it further. Very interesting.
And now I like to give my introduction. So this is a book which I'm reading currently. This is Gauranga by Jai Pataka Swami, and this book it has the story, the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. From childhood to youth. So now I've reached the section 2. So there are two sections in here, and I've reached page yeah 178 here, and yeah means nice 179 rather, and I've begun that I've just read the title. I'm not begin with that, but I remember one story which is very interesting. That it is of yes, it is of just a minute. I'm not getting the page. Yes, yes. Govinda Ghosh becomes the father of Gopinath. So this is the story of how Govinda Ghosh. Now Govinda Ghosh was a brahmachari. He was a closest servant of Lord Chaitanya. So one day Lord Chaitanya had gone to a sadhu's place to have a grihastha's place to have a prasadam. After that, he had some digestion problem, so he told Govinda Ghosh to bring harikati. It is a herb which digests the food. So Govinda Ghosh begs for a harikati and he brings that. So again, next day when Lord Chaitanya has his prasadam, he again wants harikati. So when now on the in the next day when he goes to get the harikati, Govinda Ghosh when goes to get the harikati, he comes in a few seconds. Lord Chaitanya was shocked that yesterday when he had gone to get harikati, it had taken him almost half an hour. How come he has come in 2 to 3 seconds now? So he said that I just saved some harikatis for emergency. So Lord Chaitanya said that this is a grihastha mentality. So this a grihastha thinks has such things in his mind to things save things for emergency this time. So Govinda Ghosh was shocked that how can I marry now? I'm already a brahmachari. How can I marry? But still he agreed to the Lord's order. And then he later on got married to a lady, decent lady. Then after a few days he had a son, and after a few days his wife died of some disease or something, and after a few days again his son also died. So he was left alone. But he did have an altar in his house, but still he was disturbed because he was left alone. Then he was like very sad that now Lord Chaitanya has given me this order to marry, and now I'm left alone. So why did he give me this order to get married? And he was really very sad. And once when he yes uh, yes, Lord Chaitanya, just a minute, he came in a dream or he was personally there? Yes, he had come in a dream to Govinda Ghosh, and he said that, well, you are saying that you are left alone, but you aren't. Lord Lord Gopinath is there in the altar, so you can just declare that he is your son. The Lord then after that, the Lord himself accepted Govinda Ghosh as his father. So there, at that point, he came to life. He, appeared in front of all the villagers. In previous days there were, some village chiefs. So they came and they personally saw Lord Gopinath speaking. They were shocked, they were astonished, but still they took it seriously. And Lord Gopinath was saying that now from today onwards I declare that Govinda Ghosh is my father and I am his son. So this story, just touched my heart. So this story is really very good, and that's what I'm reading. There are many beautiful instances in this book. So we will be meeting on every Tuesday and hope all we will try to give a brief introduction of our stories, of our pastimes which we are reading, and Hari Krishna.